What's up, guys? Welcome back to Daniel Talks Football right here on YouTube. I'm Daniel and we are back with another video. In this video, we're going to be doing my Champions League quarter-final predictions, as well as going through all of the round of 16 ties. I have my phone here, so I've got my research, and we can go through, react to all of the round of 16 ties before going on to do my quarter-final predictions. And we'll probably do what I think the semi-finals and finals will be as well, because why not? First game through the round of 16, second leg was Benfica versus Club Brugge, in which Benfica won the second leg 5-1 and on aggregate 7-1. Obviously, this resulted in Scott Parker getting sacked by Club Brugge in what was probably the strangest appointment for a long time. Fairly simple, this one. Benfica were just the better side. Gonçalo Ramos is an absolute beast. And Scott Parker never deserved the Club Brugge job. Moving on to Chelsea versus Dortmund. And obviously this is where Chelsea finally showed up once again and showed the world what we've all been missing. A 2-0 win versus Dortmund was a very good win, and obviously managed to start turning things around for Graham Potter. They played alright in this one. I think they did. People like Sterling, I thought looked alright, obviously getting his goal. I don't think they'll be going much further, I'm going to be honest. But even still, it was a good result for Chelsea. Bayern PSG, sorry. And obviously this is one which Bayern won 2-0 with a very late goal from Serge Gnabry in it. Eric Choupo-Moting coming through and showing everybody why he's played for PSG. I don't get this guy. I'm sorry, but I just don't. The bloke's paid for PSG, Bayern Munich and Stoke. He's scoring goals for Bayern. He's a Lewandowski replacement. Fair play to the lad. And yeah, it was just simply mental. Spurs Milan, obviously 0-0 with Milan going through from their first leg performance. I think Milan did deserve this one. People were expecting them to just roll over and Spurs to be able to sort of outclass them, and that obviously was not the case. I thought that Milan were the better side in this one, and I'm pleased Spurs are out because they're not a good side. Conte does not deserve to be their manager. If that's Conte's fault, if that's the board's fault, neither of them are seemingly working well together or even apart. The board needs to go, Conte needs to go, and Spurs are a mess. But AC Milan, fair enough to you guys. And then we move on to the ties from last week. Porto Inter resulted in a 0-0 draw, with obviously Inter then progressing because of their 1-0 win in the first leg. Good. I didn't watch it. Man City Leipzig. Now this is where Erling Haaland showed us all that he's a beast, in case we didn't know it already. 5 goals for Haaland in this one in just 57 minutes. He was then taken off in the 63rd and replaced by Julian Alvarez. Pep possibly took him off because he didn't want him to outdo Messi's record. I'm not going to say he did, because he might not have done, because we don't know. But there's a possible chance that he did, because why would he not keep Haaland on to get his double hat-trick? Haaland's a beast, and City are big competitors for this competition, or at least they would be if they weren't Man City. A quick note on RB Leipzig. They're okay, are Leipzig. However, I do look through the squad, and it's not excellent. Their midfield is quite good. People like Olmo, Haidaris, Soboslai. They do need some new sort of centre DM players, especially with Lehmann moving on in the summer. And with Nkunku also going in the summer, they're going to need a new attacker in there. Their defence haven't been particularly impressed by, especially with Guardiola possibly moving on in the summer. Leipzig, you've got a long way to go still. And then last but not least, well, second last but not least, Napoli, Frankfurt. Napoli are good. Napoli are really good. And you're going to see in my predictions that I like this Napoli side a lot. I think Victor Osimhen is an incredible player. And yeah, they just outclassed Frankfurt here. And last but not least, Real Madrid 1, Liverpool 0. Well, we all knew that Real Madrid were going to get through unless Liverpool pulled off one of their mental masterclasses again, which they did not. Real Madrid are through and are probably favourites for the Champions League, maybe. And then we move on into the quarterfinals and my predictions. The first leg on Tuesday, the first game, on Tuesday, the 11th of April, is Benfica versus Inter. Now, I like both sides in this one. Inter under Inzaghi, they've got a decent squad. Obviously, Onana's sort of come in and replaced Handanovic this season, which was something that was needed, and I think Onana is a better keeper. Inter's defence could be the key in this one because they're going to be coming up against a very good Benfica attack. However, Inter's midfield I'm not overly impressed by. Barella's a good player. Brozovic is alright, so is Çalhanoğlu. But if one of those three were to get injured, you'll be looking at someone like Gagliardini or Mkhitaryan to come in and replace. Or how old's Carboni? 18. An 18-year-old Carboni. And the attack, people like Dzeko, who has scored 3 goals so far this Champions League campaign. Alright, not too bad. Lautaro Martinez has got 1 goal, who's supposed to be their big striker. Correa with none, and Lukaku with 2. I'm not overly impressed with Inter. However, Benfica, I really like their squad under Roger Schmidt. Good goalkeeper, good defence. Somebody like Otamendi still doing it at the age of 35, and obviously Antonio Silva. He's going to be one for the future, if not one for the here and now. Alexander Barr as well. You might be hearing more about him in future videos coming up because I really like the look of the Danish defender for Benfica. Midfield, again, I think they've got great options. And obviously up top, they've got Gonçalo Ramos, who is just 9th and scored 16 goals so far in the Portuguese this year, as well as obviously that hat-trick in the World Cup. I think Benfica are going to win this one. I think it will be 1-1 after the first leg, and then I think, I think it'll be 2-1 to Benfica after the first leg. And then I think it will finish 0-0 in the second leg. Benfica at home in the first leg, I think 2-1 to them first leg, and then I think they'll be brought back to the San Siro, and Inter just will not be able to get the job done. So I think Benfica will be going through into the semi-finals, where they will face the winner of AC Milan or Napoli. Now, we do quickly need to touch on the fact that people say that the Serie A is a farmers' league. The Serie A has the most representatives, they've got the most teams in the quarterfinals, and they'll probably have the most teams in the semis as well. Maybe if Inter go through, but I think Benfica will just. Milan-Napoli, however, for me, this is easy. There's a reason why Napoli are, how many is that? 19 points clear at the top of Serie, a massive 23 points clear of AC in 4th. I think Napoli will easily win this one. Kvaradona, Osimhen. Do I need to say any more? Obviously, Kim Min-jae at the back, who's just a beast. I think Napoli will easily get this one done. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Napoli in the first leg when they're away from home, and then I think they're going to take them back to the Maradona Stadium. I can't remember the exact name for it. Isn't it the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona? Something like that. They'll take them back to their home ground and they'll beat AC 2-0. Napoli will go through to the semi-finals 3-0 on aggregate, where they will face Benfica. And then moving back to Tuesday's games, when we have Manchester City versus Bayern Munich. This will be an excellent game. Pep returning to face his former side. I think Man City will win this one at home. I think it will be a 3-2 win to City at home. I can see goals. I don't think either side's defence is particularly strong. However, both sides do have very, very good attacks, with Eric Choupo-Moting, the king of binds. 3-2 to City at home before they go back to the Allianz Arena. Bayern will win 1-0 after normal time. It will go to extra time, and I think Bayern will get that goal. I think Bayern will be going through to the semi-finals. Man City, I don't know what it is with Man City in Europe, but they just cannot do it, and I don't think they will be doing it here. I think it will be 4-3 to Bayern Munich after extra time. And then they will move on to face either Real Madrid or Chelsea. 2-0 to Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. They'll go back to Chelsea and they'll win 2-1. Easy, simple. I don't think Graham Potter's Chelsea have a chance. If this goes wrong, I'm prepared to make an apology video, but I really don't think it will. I think Potter's a good manager. But yeah, easy. Real Madrid will go through him. And then we move on to the semi-finals. We have Benfica versus Napoli and Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. I think Napoli will beat Benfica. Semi-finals are obviously still two-legged affairs. I think it will be 1-0 to Benfica at their place, but then I think Napoli will go back to the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, and I think they will win 3-1 in normal time. A last-minute goal from Kavica Kvaradona Kvaratskhelia. I know Kvaradona is this middle name, just go with it. And I think Napoli will be through to the final, where they will face one of Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. This depends who gets the first leg at home. It may have been announced. If so, I don't know. I think what 0-0 in the first leg, when I'm predicting it's gonna be at the Allianz Arena. If it's at the Bernabeu, then either way, my result will still be the same because they'll go back to the Bernabeu. And Real Madrid will win 2-0. And Real Madrid will go through to the final where they will face Napoli. Real Madrid are proven winners. Napoli are not. Napoli will have the whole of the world on their sides though, because who doesn't want Napoli to win? But I think it's going to be heartbreak. I don't want to say it because that means Real Madrid will be back-to-back winners, but I think it's going to be heartbreak for Napoli. I think it will finish 3-1 to Real Madrid after normal time, and Real Madrid will be your double-time Champions League winners. What do you make to my predictions, and who do you think will win the Champions League as well as the quarter-final games? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. See ya!